I'm Samantha, and I am a recent or graduate of Kaiser University MSOT program. I wanted to go ahead and share with you my journey and give you a glimpse of what your experience that you're about to begin on your journey. First, I want to start off with a little elevator speech. So, one that I've been using since CODA and even in the MSOT program that's always stuck with me is PT gets you moving and OT gets you living. Occupational therapy is so much more than just movement. It's about getting people or helping people participate in everyday life activities and bring meaning and independence and purpose into their lives. And that is the biggest thing of what this degree is going to help you and helped me and is going to help us do. Um, Going more into like the journey part of the MSOT program. In the beginning, you have to create like or not like it's an assignment, but it's a create like goals and go over like rating yourself, and it's kind of helping you like to see your growth throughout the program. And in the beginning, the first class, one of my biggest areas that like I needed help with, there's a couple, but one that like I've noticed a lot of growth, I would say was stress management. It is so important and crucial in this program for the 2 years to learn if you are struggling with stress to be able to manage and cope. When I first started this program, I often felt overwhelmed by assignments, by deadlines. It was a lot of information. It was different. It was going from a disadvantage of us going from quotas in the field to now we got to put on more student, put on that cap, and be more organized. So I learned to be more organized and proactive with my schedule. I did like I would write down on a piece of paper weekly plan. So it would be color coordinated with the class, what was due, when it was due, different colors for what were assignments, different colors for like studying time. I even had my study time scheduled, and also tests and quizzes. And completing assignments early is something that like helped me at least like getting a jump and starting ahead, because if not, it starts to back up. And then if you're studying, like just being organized was something that really helped me with stress management. Um, and then another one would be critical thinking. To be honest, in the very beginning of the program, I felt completely lost when it came to analyzing research. That was for me something that was so scary. I could summarize an article, I could paraphrase it, I could like briefly tell you what I just read, but I really didn't understand how to break down and really apply the research articles to practice. So I feel like over time with the coursework and also getting feedback from the instructors really helped with me learn how to really dig deeper into these research articles and really understand how evidence-based like practice and supporting and how to support like treatments in your clinical with all this evidence-based research. So that is something the critical thinking was very scary and challenging in the beginning, but this program really did help me understand it more now. I would also say I developed a strong commitment to learning, and what I mean is like in the beginning I was really hesitant to like speak up or contribute to group discussions on Kaiser Lives or like even in person. I would just sit there quietly shy. Like in my head I was participating, but I was very not. And that was one of the things that like really I had to be more willing to do. And I feel like that was like a way I showed my commitment to learning, was being able to like be more engaged and active in those peer and group discussions over time, and gaining confidence even helped me in my field work. And I feel like it's helping me in or gonna help me in the future as an OTR. Looking ahead to some professional goals, I have two paths that I am not sure, but what I would like my future or would love to work towards is either I love my pediatrics. I love my geriatrics. So either being a director of rehab in a geriatric inpatient setting, where I can lead a team and support older adults in maintaining their independence and quality life, or I would really love to open my own outpatient pediatric clinic that would create a supportive and an innovative environment for the children and family and pretty much build a home and someone that like a family that they feel supported with, but also focusing on sensory and daily needs for the pediatric population. Then talking next about leadership as an MSOT student, I would say ways I showed leadership in this program would be in the classroom would be, I would say, engaging in the discussion, sharing resources. What I really loved about the cohort is we were very good at like sharing researches or resources. Like if there's something that helped me, I always would go and let everyone know in the class, like, hey, this helped me, just in case anyone needs help or like a studying or not understanding something or something. We were very like good with that. I would also say collaborating with peers on projects. I felt like sometimes I was able to show my leadership role within that projects by getting like organized, encouraging everyone to like participate and setting. We did weekly like Zooms when there were projects as groups and making sure that everyone's voice was heard and they felt confident and they felt like they were able to participate and be heard. I would say some like leadership ways in the clinic. I worked or did my field work. We'll give an example of the geriatric population. It was assisted living facility that also had inpatient, short-term acute care, and a independent living. So it was like a big facility. And I would say my leadership came out with being able to collaborate with the interdisciplinary team and setting like promoting engagement, like getting everyone or like a not a group, but getting like the people to initiate or like kind of showing like new ideals. I feel like people get stuck in like their ways. We get a habit like being in the field so long, some of them just got stuck. So like collaborating with the staff and promoting just engagement with the staff and the clients, I would feel like it's one way I did like a leadership kind of in the geriatric setting. And then as a student, back to it was like the group activities and getting everyone engaged and like just making sure we were organized on time and like a schedule. Um, and then next would be after graduation. So becoming an occupational therapist does not end at graduation. It truly, I feel like, begins there because then you have to get certified. So your certification, NBCOT certification, that's a process. And then for state, different states vary, but for Florida, like a state license. Right now, so I am preparing for the NBCOT certification process, which I'll briefly go over. So you have different steps. First, you have to graduate from an ACO accredited OT program. So Kaiser is one, and that makes me eligible for that one. So that's a check on that. You'll have to create an NBCOT account, or if you already have one, you'll go and submit an application. And you have to pay your fees. Then once that's all taken care of and you graduate, your transcripts are good. I think it takes like 2 weeks after you graduate. You'll go and request transcripts to be verified. So you'll get them sent over to NBCOT and then you wait for your ATT letter. That is, yes, a waiting process. But then after you get that, you get to schedule your exam, which will be at a Pearson testing site. And then after passing your exam, you'll be an OTR officially, like credentialed OTR. But then you have your state license. So to legally practice in Florida, these are the steps to getting a state license. You will need to get a fingerprint-based background screening completed electronically before approval. Then apply online for your license by the Florida Department of Health, and then submit all the documents and pay all the fees. And then once that's approved, you get your license and you are good to go. You are certified with NBCOT, so you have that certification, and you are licensed by the state, and you're able to start practicing in. Certification and licensure, though, is not just checking boxes. I feel like they mark my transition from a student to a practitioner. So, like, they're important, they're big milestones. And it also reminds me that professional growth is ongoing throughout continuing education experiences or starting as a CODA and going back to school to become an OTR. It's always going to be professional growth. And I feel like this is also going to help me with my long-term goals of either becoming a director of rehabilitation or opening my own outpatient pediatric clinics. but I feel like both of these paths will benefit and like show my commitment to leadership, advocacy, and lifelong long learning, and just showing my passion for occupational therapy and helping others, and just seeing the transformations that are going to take place and happen in the future. But good luck, and I hope you enjoy your journey.